I'm Mary Aileen Buss. I'm one of the librarians here at Long Beach Public Library. I'm entirely self-taught on the jewelry with this wonderful book called Teach Yourself Visually Jewelry Making. I recommend that whole series, the Teach Yourself Visually for crafts. I've been doing necklaces, earrings, and other bead things for several years now. And then Julie is one of our library clerks, and she's actually been a professional jewelry maker in the city and out here in East Rockaway for a while before we snagged her for the library. So Julie is going to show us the ring. So let me spotlight her so that we can all see what she's doing.
I wish I would have bought the ring that I had made already, but I didn't.
Yeah.
You'll see this when it's finished. So.
Right. Okay. So you need the piece of wire we gave you, everybody, and the larger red bead. And you just string the bead onto the wire. Yep. And you want it to be pretty much in the middle.
Okay.
Yep, like that. Okay.
If anybody has any trouble as we go along, just give a shout and we'll slow down, okay?
Yep. So the next thing you do is you wrap the wire around the marker thing you have, like Julie's demonstrating. This part's a little bit tricky sometimes because you want to keep the beads centered on your round thing while you wrap the wire around once each way. Each end of the wire goes around once.
Each end of the wire goes around?
Both ends of the wire go around, the bead stays in the middle. Just wrap them around once until they come back around to where the bead is in the middle. And at that point, you can take it off your marker if you want, or you can leave it there to be more stable. It depends, it's up to you. And then you wrap the two ends of the wire one end at a time around the bead. So Julie's taking hers off, and you just wrap the ends of the wire around the bead. It's a little tricky sometimes to hold everything. And you wrap it around several times. You want to leave about an inch left of the wire when you're finished on each end, when you've finished wrapping. So Julie's taking it nice and slow so we can all see what she's doing.
I just wrapped it around just twice.
Yep.
I'm going to do the same with this side.
Mm-hmm.
I want it underneath my stone.
Yeah, you want to make sure it's no higher than the middle of your of the bead, either around at the bottom or around on the sides. Looks pretty. It looks like it's set in a setting. And you want to wrap it around a few more times. You need about an inch or so on each side left when you've finished wrapping. Looks like we had somebody get knocked out and is coming back in.
This is frustrating.
Yeah, it's kind of tricky.
Okay.
Okay.
Could you put the ring that you're wrapping a little closer to the camera? It's hard to see what.
Yeah,
So
it's
you're
hard
not
to see the wire, it's so thin.
Right. So you're not actually wrapping around the bead. You're just securing the bead in the middle. Is that what you're wrapping?
Yeah, you can wrap
Okay,
around. You can actually wrap around or sort of under to secure it.
I understand. Okay.
If you do it more underneath, it makes it more like a pretty little.
Right. Got it.
Yep,
Thank you.
yep.
It's like a
But the wire is very malleable, so you'll be able to kind of squish it.
Yeah, this is 24 gauge craft wire. You probably want that to wrap that a few more times, Julie, because you only want about an inch on either side.
Now, if, say, somebody messes with the wire, is it easy enough to unwrap and do it again?
You should be able to, yeah. You don't want to wrap and rewrap too many times or the wire gets all crinkled and not quite as pretty anymore, but yeah, you can wrap it You can unwrap and do it again if you have to. Okay, so when you have it wrapped up and an inch or so left on either side, then what you do with the ends of the wire is you wrap them around the ring part.
Like coil them.
Yeah, just wrap them around the ring part as far as you can go.
Oops.
And I'm going to do it myself. I've been watching what Julie is so I can keep my narration ready, but I'm going to try if I can make this myself here. I've done one with a different bead, but let's see how this works.
You want to wait a second, Marianne, and we'll show it twice? Yeah, I guess it depends on what everybody needs.
Yeah, well, let me see if I can actually do
You
this
guys want to see
now.
it one more time or no?
I'm okay.
We've each got, Julie and I
Okay.
each have 2 or 3 sets of the ring, so we can do it multiple times if we have to,
Uh-huh.
just to show it off. And I'm having a lot more trouble than Julie is
I
with
wish I had a
mine.
little,
I don't usually do the wire wrapping thing, although I've been trying to get started with it.
I don't think mine came out right.
I don't think mine came out right either.
Neither did mine, so it's a piece of art. It's a piece of work.
Heart, yep.
exactly.
Well, take heart. Mine didn't come out right either.
I think practice makes perfect.
Practice makes perfect.
If you start it over again, you do it differently and get it better.
Yeah. The more
if
you
you've
make
got-
them.
If
the
you've
better
got
they'll be.
anywhere, we didn't suggest it for here, but if you've got, for the thing itself, the program, but if you've got anywhere a pair of pliers or even tweezers, which is what I'm using, you can pinch
tweezers.
the edge of the wire down against the ring so that you don't have sharp things sticking out. So when we take the spotlight off Julie, I'll show you how mine came out. Mine's not going to be nearly as pretty as hers.
I don't know about that, Mary Eileen. One of my ends was a little too long, you were right. So I think I'm gonna remedy that by just going over to the other side and.
Yep, that'll work.
My wire made a crazy creation around it.
Okay, so
Very
hold yours up, Julie, so we
I
can
love it,
see it,
Lori.
and then I'll take you off spotlight. Oh, yours came out beautiful. So we'll take you off spotlight if I can see where that is.
I'll take care of it. Hold on a sec. There you go. You're a
Okay.
spotlight, Mary Eileen. You're good.
Okay, so here's mine, which is not quite as neat around as
Oh,
Julie's
it looks
is.
good.
That's
How about
beautiful.
that?
I like it.
Now, one thing I had to do is somehow when I wrapped the wire around the bead, it got twisted up like this and it was up at the top. So I just twisted it so that now it's all the way around. So does anybody want to see that again a little, or shall we go on to the bracelet?
Can you do it again?
Okay, I'm going to go a little faster this time. So we've got the bead, we've got the wire. We string the bead on the wire. It should be more or less in the middle. Whoops, I'm holding it up and I shouldn't. String the bead on the wire, should be more or less in the middle. And I wrap it around my marker here. This is the tricky part. They're all tricky parts. This is not as easy as you might think. So you wrap the wire all the way around, take the marker out, and then try to hold it steady. Whoops, that's what I do wrong. Try to hold it steady while we wrap the wire around. And it doesn't want to stay
Okay.
steady.
Oh, I see.
And it
Oh,
doesn't
now
wanna wrap.
I see.
Oh,
Yeah.
now I see how
Okay,
to do it.
yeah.
It's too late.
Yeah, it just wraps right around.
Okay.
And then your end bits wrap around
Go
the
down.
ring part.
Okay, that's.
Next time we should just demonstrate it. You watch and then do it together.
Yep,
second
that's
time.
exactly right. Next time we should
Great
demonstrate
idea,
first,
Lori.
and then you
Demonstrate it
watch.
first because
Well,
mine
guys,
came out-
listen, I have extra bags there. A few people didn't pick up, so don't be disheartened. If you want to come pick up another bag and try
Yeah, I'll
again
take
on your
another
own at
bag.
home, that's totally fine. No
I'll take
problem.
Pick up
Because
another
now
bag.
I see how to do it. Yeah, next time
Yep,
we need
and
a
I'm gonna
It's
use
not
those
easy. It's definitely
tweezers.
not.
No, we need a
Many-
demonstration and then
Yep,
do it.
that's very good. We'll do that the next time. So
Thanks, Lori.
that's a
Anytime.
very good idea. And mine didn't come out round, so it's soft enough. I'm just sort of pinching it until it's rounder.
Gotcha.
And let's see if it fits on my finger. It's a little tight for my
It
ring
looks
finger,
good
but it'll
there,
go
Aileen.
nicely on my little finger.
Oh, cute. Adorable.
Yay.
Okay, so if everybody's ready, we can get started on the bracelet.
Sure.
You have more beads than you should
I
need.
just want to take one there, Aileen, if
Yes.
it's okay with you.
Go
Oh, I
ahead.
just wanted to say that when we do these crafts, guys, this is all a learning experience for everybody. And we do crafts here just so we can, because it kind of helps us relax, and it's, so
Exactly.
mistakes are fine. It's totally okay to screw it up. And we'll do another one next month too, okay?
Oh, great.
Yep.
Yeah,
Okay.
do once a month. That'd be great.
One a month, yep, usually on the second or third Saturday. We made this one late in the month because last weekend was Rosh Hashanah. Last Saturday was the beginning of Rosh Hashanah. So for this one, you need the little piece of thread we gave you.
Yep.
Which you can't even see.
So why don't you demonstrate it first before we do it? And then we'll
Okay.
do it together.
So you take the thread, you've got two little pieces of the clasp, a plain round piece and a sort of complicated piece that's the actual clasp. So you tie one end of the thread to the round part.
Okay, to the O-ring.
If you want to go do it with me, you can, or you can wait and I'll try to do it another time. Now, thread is so thin, it's a little hard to get your hands on to tie properly, unfortunately. You do have some extra thread. You've got 12 inches of thread here, and nobody needs a 12-inch bracelet, so you're good in
How
that
many
regard.
knots does it need? Like how many? Just 12?
I'm doing like a square knot. It needs to be secure.
Okay.
If we were doing this in person, I'd do beading wire and crimp it, but you need special tools for that, and nobody has the special tools. And then you just start stringing the beads onto the thread. And you have to do them one at a time. You need to be a little everybody's got a slightly different mix, although it's all the same beads. But you need to be a little bit careful because you don't want to end up
There,
with.
Aileen, you're in the
Yes.
little. You're going a little off screen. Yeah, just go right there is perfect. You're
Right
right
there,
center
yep.
screen now.
I
Good.
need to push my keyboard
Thank
tray
you.
in so I can move in a
Good,
little
thank you.
farther.
So when you did the ring, you have a little piece of the string hanging off to the side because when I knotted it. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's. Let me get this
Yeah, I'll
bead
cut it
on, and I'll
later.
show you what you do about that little
Later.
piece. You can cut some of it off if it's too long.
No.
But what you can do is, yeah, I've got too much here.
How do you get
Wanna
the
have a little
beads
bit
through
left?
the thread? Wow, it's hard to get the beads into the thread.
Yeah, it can be. Sorry, it would be easier with bigger beads so you could hold them better. What you do with the little end piece is you sort of pinch it together and put the first few beads over
and put
both pieces
yeah.
of thread so it'll anchor it.
Okay.
And that's easier to say than it is to do, I'm sorry, unfortunately, but yeah, so I've got the thread hidden now.
Oh, perfect. I didn't even think about that.
Yep. And you've got more red ones than anything else probably, so you want to make sure you don't neglect your red ones. And you just, yeah. If we'd done bigger beads, they'd not only be easier to thread, but it would be faster because you wouldn't need so many beads to make your bracelet. And I do apologize for the tininess of the beads. We misjudged the size when we were ordering them. We're probably going to do another jewelry session in the spring because this one was very popular. So when we do that, we will make sure that we have somewhat larger beads the next time, and any subsequent times. It's easier to put the beads on with the beading wire too because it's stiffer than the thread is.
The thread
do
is
apologize.
impossible. Yeah, it would have been easy if I saved the wire for this.
Well, you know what? All this feedback is really good for us and helps us for future crafts.
Yeah,
We
this-
just started the take and
But
makes here, so this
if
is
you're
great
gonna-
feedback.
If you're
Anybody
gonna
have any
use,
hints how to get the
Yes.
little beads on?
if you're gonna use the thread, if you wax the end of the thread, like if you have a wax from a candle or anything,
Oh,
it
that's
keeps
a good idea.
it keeps the wire, it keeps the thread stiffer.
That's
to
a
go
great
quicker.
idea.
That's a very good idea.
So you take the wax
Cute.
and you wax it.
Just rub it back and forth on a candle, and then you'll have that coating on it that keeps it, stiffer.
That's a very good idea. Thank you for the tip.
No problem.
Can you do a little kids workshop with like bigger beads also maybe 1 month?
Yeah,
We will
so we have
suggest
a
it
whole
to
bunch
the
of-
youth services. They're doing a lot of
So
take
we're-
and make crafts too. I
Yeah.
think they're
Yeah,
trying to use
we're
up
gonna-
all the crafts they have sort of left over. So this bead,
Right now for the youth services, we have a take and make craft for painting a fairy door. It comes with a fairy door, ceramic fairy door and book, and you just need to supply your own paint, but they're doing a story time and craft. So if you know any kids, please feel free to call.
Yeah,
think
I
it's
saw that
sweet.
one. But
Yeah, it's cute.
yeah, I'm requesting to see if maybe you guys could do a bead activity with them also.
right.
for-
Yeah,
in
Yeah,
future.
we'll
I'll
have
send
to see
Nicole a
what they
note.
want
Yep.
to do.
Thank you.
It's a very good idea. Yes, thank you.
I was hoping I would be able to do these beads with one of my
No,
kids,
they're
but
much
these
too
are way,
tiny.
way too little.
These are,
Much
I
too
can't even
tiny.
do them.
For the
cannot
next
figure
one,
it
we'll
out.
make sure we use bigger beads, and we'll see if we
So
can't do something
basically, I
with.
could take apart, if I could take apart the ring wire, it'd be easier with the beads. These beads would go through it, right? Easier.
Yeah, that would work just fine. The problem is securing it to the clasp.
It's
I
easier
see.
string the beads if you have a tweezer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it probably would be.
Okay. So how would you do it with the tweezer?
You just
Just show me
use the
quickly.
tweezer to pick them up instead of your fingers.
Oh, the tweezer would hold the bead. I got you.
Yeah. Whoops, I got 2 beads there. I'm not gonna be able to do it like that.
This is hard to do.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
It's okay. I want to do it with the wire because it's so easy. I can do it with the wire in 2 seconds.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't realize how hard the thread was gonna be either because I use wire myself when I do beads. But it's just to get the kind of wire I use is multi-strand beading wire, and there's just sort of no way to make it
'Cause then you'll
tie
have
it
to
or wrap
crimp
it
it.
around. You have to pinch it together, crimp it with a special tool
Right.
to get it to stay, and it's just
Right.
yeah. So someday we will be able to do programs in the library again, and we will do one of these with beading wire, and I'll have the crimping tool there, and we can do them, and we'll still use bigger beads because these are a pain in the neck. They really are. Frustrating, I know.
Well, I had to give up on the thread. So I'm just gonna make one with the extra wire that I had and just tie it around. Because I couldn't do it.
Yeah, the wire, I thought of that too late. You can probably twist that craft wire around and
I
have
mean,
it stay.
It's
Yeah, when I get an extra bag, I'll use the wire to make, I'll actually
Sure.
not make the bracelet.
Sure, however you want to do it.
Yeah, because this is hard.
And you know, when you call us for an extra bag, if you want to say, well, I don't know, can we reopen those bags, Janine, so we could put an extra bit of wire in? We do have more wire. We've got the instructions
they're all-
stapled to them, and I'm not sure how well that we can open them without ripping the bag, but we could certainly try. Just give you a little bit of, an extra length of wire.
Yeah, well, the Ziploc baggies, just open up the
Yeah.
bag.
Well, yeah, but it's stapled, so I don't know.
It's stapled on the end, so you can still open in the middle.
Yeah, I was able to
Yeah.
open it without, yeah.
We should be able to. So, just email Janine, the address you used before, and say you'd like another bag, and just remind us that you want a piece of wire, second piece of wire in there. I'll have to remember to take my wire cutters back to work so that I can cut them for you. And we'll just give you a second piece of wire if you want to try that instead.
Yeah.
Basically, I think what you'd have to do is, instead of tying it, is sort of wrap it around itself at the end, and then you'd have a little bit of bare wire showing, maybe.
I
But-
see. Make like a circle.
Like a circle. Just wrap it right around there. I think
Or
that
if we
would
had a
work pretty
big
well.
bead, we could wrap it in through the big bead and wrap it around, make it like an end piece, right?
Yeah, I don't think we got a few more of those big red beads, but I don't think we have
No,
enough.
no, I'm just saying in general.
Just saying, yeah.
In the
It's a
future,
good idea.
the wire, I would just make the end and then just wrap it around that piece and make it like a decoration.
Mm-hmm. That could work very well. So let's see. I know I'm probably farther along than the rest of you, but when you get the bracelet as long as you want it to be, stop, because we'll need to put the clasp on the other end. You'll have lots of thread left over, and you should have beads left over, because we tried to make sure that everybody had more than enough beads so you wouldn't run short. Janine, do you know how many of the kits we have left?
Well, I know that I had seen about at least 4 or 5 packages that weren't that didn't.
Right, yeah, we had about 8 that weren't assigned to people, but we were giving some of those out because we couldn't necessarily find the one with the person's name on it. I don't know where they got to, but so we should have,
Because there's some.
and then
on
not
the
everything got
back,
picked
too.
up, so we should have plenty left for everybody that's here that wants a second kit. We had so many people say they were interested that we went and bought more beads
Wow.
so that we could, because we were figuring 20 people and we had more than enough for that, but then we had 41 people sign up.
wow. Oh, wow.
That's
But
great.
so we had a waiting list, but then not everybody responded when we tried to get in touch with them to set an appointment to pick it up. So I think it was 33 people we had who were going to pick them up, but I don't think everybody came. So how long am I getting here? Oh, I got quite a ways to go yet.
Well, with the Jewish holiday this weekend, it's hard, it's
Yeah,
hard.
it's tough.
It's a bad,
And we had at least one person who was not going to pick up a bag when she realized which Saturday it was. And we said, oh, it'll be up on YouTube, the instructions. So she decided to take one anyway. So when you pick up the bag, we've got the printed instructions, but if you want to wait and look at the recording again before you try to do it.
So it'll take a week for the recording.
Probably, because Tom is the one who puts them up. He's really good at video editing, but the only day he can really do it is Friday. So I don't think it'll go up before next Friday, unless his schedule has changed.
Oh, that's why it takes so long. Okay.
That's why it takes so long. Yep.
I couldn't understand for all the shows why, but now I understand.
Right.
Right.
Well, see, the thing is, it's not so even just the time, it's that we don't have computers powerful enough to do the good video editing at the library. So he works from home on Friday and does all the video editing from the week on his own computer.
Oh, wow.
So yeah.
It's complicated.
Complicated. If we're going to keep on with this, we should probably just break down and buy a better computer for him for work. But those aren't cheap, and our budget's pretty tight this year because everybody's feeling the pinch with COVID, and we didn't want to hurt anybody's budget any more than we had to. But yeah, that's why it takes so long to get up. I think the exercise classes and concerts that we do on Facebook Live, I think those are
Right.
available right away. But the ones that he edits and puts up on YouTube do take a while.
Okay. Are they
We do
gonna
edit
put,
all the concerts too, so it usually takes a couple of days.
Okay,
Usually
didn't
within a
realize
week
that.
and everything.
somebody was about to ask a question.
the jazz concert, is that gonna be up on YouTube? They weren't sure if they were gonna be able to do that because of, the
Yeah,
jazz.
the Facebook Live concert should be up there. I talked to Tom, make sure he got them. Okay, I'll let you
Yeah,
know,
that,
Lori.
because, no, you weren't sure because of copyright issues. Something
Me?
like that.
Oh
They
no,
had to,
no.
no, they had to get, I asked, they said they had to get
If they
permission.
come to Lori, we record them. Oh, okay.
We'll check though. Janine will ask Tom about it.
Yep.
Are we gonna have any more virtual concerts? That was great. Are we gonna have any more virtual concerts in the future?
Yes, we are. I'm working on it right now, actually.
Good.
Yeah, Janine is doing a lot of our programming these days. She's very good at it.
Yeah, she works very hard. She's very good and patient.
Thank you very much. It's awesome.
Oh, thank you, guys. Everybody, it's a team effort here. He's doing the part. I love it, really do. I love doing the concerts. I love doing this craft. I'm not very good at crafts, which is why I'm not doing it today, but I love doing them. But, if I tried to show you guys, would kind of laugh. Oh, I did paint that rock last time. I did all
Yeah, you
right.
did really well on
Yeah,
the rock painting last
Rock
month.
was a lot of fun.
Yep.
Yeah, it was fun.
And in October, what we have coming up is it's a leaf garland. It's made out of book pages, leaves made out of book pages and decorated with glitter.
Oh, wow.
So
Yeah, so you could just hang it up and have like a little, little leaf banner in your house. It's cute. And it's a lot easier than this.
much.
And we'll
I'll
have,
be doing that one.
you'll give us the glitter? Oh,
Yep, we'll give you everything you need for it,
Okay, great.
except the way to clean up the glitter that's left
I was
over
just
when
going to
you're
say,
done.
that's an activity you don't want to have at the library. Using,
Well, like with the last one, I saved some newspapers.
Yep, exactly. You need to put a layer of newspaper down. And let's
I don't know. I have it. Whenever my kids use glitter, it's in my house for like 6 months.
easy.
Oh, is that
There's
all?
nothing I can do.
And it gets in your hair too.
Hair, your face, everywhere.
It's fun though.
It is fun. I love crafting. I think it's, and I think you still get the benefits even if you're not great at it like me. So
Oh, yeah.
I feel like you still get that sort of mention. You have nice afterward.
The process can be almost meditative, and the sense of accomplishment, knowing you made that, even if it's not, wonderful.
It was very
you buy something
relaxing.
much better.
Yes.
And it relaxes you.
It's relaxing.
Yep.
Oh, my God. I keep dropping them.
Yeah. That's
It's
why
all
you
right.
want a piece of paper or a
No, it's
Well,
fine.
that's
It's
why the
fine.
paper
Yeah.
plate, the paper plate's catching them.
Yeah.
for me.
Whoops, and I just dropped one off the edge of my desk there.
You guys look like you're doing a job on these. How's it coming out?
Getting there.
Getting there.
Julie, did you finish yours?
I went off on my own tangent because I couldn't do it with the string, so I actually beaded it with the wire.
Okay, you'll
I'm
have
gonna
to
put
show
you
us
on
how
spotlight for a sec.
that looks.
Yeah, and I made like little patterns with the different beads.
Okay.
Like
Oh,
totally
yeah.
with
Oh, that's
the
beautiful.
wire. And
Oh,
then
that's
like
really
with
good. Yeah, and
knives.
you just wrapped the end of the wire around by the clasp. Yep, that would be a better way to do it. Well, we'll know the
Yeah.
next time.
So you wrap, what
Next
do you
time
do?
we
Wrap
won't
the
mess
wire
with
around the
thread, we'll just
clasp?
use wire.
I just wrapped the wire right around the clasp. It's a little pinchy because I don't have tweezers or flat nose pliers, so I just did it with my fingers. But
You can fix that later.
yeah, the thread was too much for me. I couldn't-
Yeah, the thread was a mistake. I'm sorry about that.
No, it wasn't a mistake.
That's all right.
It was was,
If we
you
had
know,
bigger beads,
If we had bigger beads, it
Right.
wouldn't be so bad. Yeah, the combination just doesn't work. You're absolutely right on that.
Well,
And
you know
I
what I
do
think?
apologize.
Once we can actually, it's a little difficult to stores, so I think one can actually shop freely. We won't have to order so much online.
Yeah,
Which
that was
is as
part
well.
of the problem. We had trouble getting things locally. We had to order it all. And I just,
Yeah,
I
Amazon is
didn't
great.
realize
You
how
can't see
tiny
things.
the red ones were going to be. That was the big problem. The
Mhm.
rest of
yeah,
them,
I can't do
most of
the
the rest of them aren't too bad, but those red ones are just so tiny.
I can't do the red and the white ones.
All right.
Yeah.
You can.
It's all right.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
It's fun.
But just, yeah, email us. We'll set up a time for you to come get a bag with an extra piece of wire so you can do it with wire.
I'm taking apart my ring because
That's
I
a great
want
idea.
to
We can do
You
that.
want to do that again? Yep. I think what I'm going to wind up doing with mine is just taking it apart and redoing it with wire. So this isn't really as long as I would need to go around one of my wrists, but I'm going to stop and show you how I'm planning on doing
you do
the
it.
clasp with the wire. The
Yes.
clasp end is a round circle, and then it's got a tiny little circle on one side.
I
Mhm.
see.
So what you're going to do when you get to that point is you put the thread in through that little circle on the side
Yeah.
and you tie it up again as close to the beads as you can. And that one doesn't want to cooperate either. Yep, Julie had the right idea. Use the wire.
Yeah.
So how do you
I can't believe how fast you did it.
what do? You wrap the wire around the two clasps?
Yeah, you wrap it around the clasps and then you put it through the little hole or put it through the round part of the other end and wrap it, and then you just wrap it around the
You could probably do the same way that you would with just without the crimp bead, no? Just thread it through. If you use like 2 or 3 of the bigger beads at each end, then you could thread
maybe,
it
yeah.
back through.
Yeah, or just yeah, you just have to make sure you've got it so that it's going to be secure.
Right.
So I've tied my knot off and I've got several inches of extra thread. So I was going to cut that off so it isn't so long. And then I'm going to try to feed the end back in through the beads here to hide it. Let's see if this works. Well, it went through the big one on the end with the bigger hole, but it doesn't want to go in through the rest of them.
Got like 4 inches done. Let's see.
Yeah, it doesn't want to work.
Mm,
Okay, well, that's what I had as the idea,
right.
is just feed it in through the end.
Normally
So I
do
feed it
with-
in through the one bead it's going to go into, and then I'm just going to cut it off. There. So I think this is a child's size bracelet.
Nice. Looks pretty.
It's about,
Mm-hmm.
it's about maybe 6 inches. Somebody with a narrow wrist could wear it.